just the other day when I was dropping my son and my son's friend home, and I pulled up at the off ramp off the highway. Someone approached me, and I had change. It's like I make it a habit. It's like the change is so small unless I'm putting it to with anything, it can't do anything. You know what I mean? And it'll just sit there. So I just trying to make the habit of, if I have it and someone can use it, I'll just give it away, right? And then my
can't wait to see you.
And then you can't wait to get some change.
Oh, I'm gonna put on a mask and stuff and walk up to the car. Like, is that the cheap?
Is that the
spend some change? I got to feed my 3 children.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous. It's ridiculously funny.
I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe to all the above on all streaming platforms possible. Search Podical Sons. Also go to podicalsons.com. YouTube as well. You can see us there, shining and profiling and all of the above. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
You're here.
Hip hip hooray.
Agree with all of that.
How are you today?
I'm good, my brother. How are you today?
Surviving and smiling, man. Can't complain, man.
All right.
Life is good. Weather's participating. I don't hate on weather.
No, it's been a good few days.
It's just been a good summer, you know?
Yeah, I would say except for the smoke filled days. That kind of put a dent in it.
No,
otherwise than that,
you know what it is? Because I always hear a lot of motherfuckers complaining about the in the wintertime, it's too cold.
Right.
And then the summer, it's too hot. And now they're saying, not enough summer. There's too many rainy days and stuff. And I was like, yo, pick a struggle, man. Stop complaining about everything.
You got to pick a struggle.
You got to pick a struggle, man. So that's my main concern. You ready to get to this?
Let's get to it.
All right. First polls. Let's get to the polls of the week. The first poll said, do leaders deserve the benefit of the doubt? And 57% said yes.
Yes. Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I still say the same. I believe they need the benefit of the doubt. They're human beings at the end of the day. Hopefully they're not as we see them on TV all the time. You know, it's like you hope for some at some point they're putting up a face. They put up that tough act because that's part of their job. But you know, they go home and the regular person, they can have a regular. Well, I guess they can't have a regular life as much as they possibly want to, but as much as they possibly can. It's got to be hard to be in the spotlight, especially if like your kids of somebody, you know, famous or popular like that. Like a home life balance, I don't envy that, being in that stature.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Do you consider, well, the UK has, parliament monarchy. Do you consider Prince Charles a leader? Why you look at me like that? I just asked you a simple question.
What is he? I think he's a rubber stamper, man. I think most of those heads are rubber stampers. The ideas are brought to them. What needs to be done, you know, they have people who think for them. And at the end of the day, they sign off. The power is in the signature for them.
Because I look at it stuff as like, well, you have parliament, right?
Right.
So you don't really, the royals are there for me, decoration. But I don't know how in depth they are, like intertwined with the British government. I don't know.
Right.
I might be ignorant about it, but I don't know. But I'm looking at stuff as like, if we don't need you to pass votes or bills and all that type of stuff, whatever, what the fuck do we really care? Like, I say that in like the nicest way. I know the profanity might scare some people off, but I look at it stuff as where, okay, we were upset that the Queen passed.
Right.
Queen never signed any paperwork saying this, that, and the third. With that prime minister, they have their whole parliament set up same way like how Canada is. So if we hear something like, oh, well, let's say, I don't know, let's say Prince Charles and stuff, no, sorry. King Charles isn't, doing too well and stuff, whatever, right? Do we throw the pity party like as a person, or do we do a pity party as like a quote unquote world leader? Because they're not quote unquote world leaders.
I think you throw the pity party as the person. I don't think he's done enough in the short amount of time that he's been king for you to say it's been a game-changing position for him.
Do not judge my king by the time.
Well, listen, man, if he's anything like his mama, he might be there for a while. I'm just saying. She held it down.
They don't make him like they used to. That's all I gotta say.
That's the other thing.
That's all I gotta say to it. Whatever.
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to and stuff. Whatever, But hey,
I think like their importance is within the signature, and then I guess due to the fact that not only are they a monopoly family, but as far as wealth holders go, they're in there just like the Rockefellers or anybody else, right? So they own land. Like you own land, you hold an
I like how you said
title.
that. Now that I would put some more respect on their name and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it, like a light bulb went off and stuff, whatever. Because if we look at it now, the Kennedys, let's say minus John F. Kennedy,
right?
President,
right?
World leader at a time.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them, I want to say, not world leaders, but that family still trot to reign supreme.
Exactly.
The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds,
exactly. The
still do the same. Like we know them.
We might not know the today's players, but they're still playing. We know that for a fact, right?
But we need to give today's players a little bit more shine. All I know is Jay Electronica dated like a granddaughter
of a Rockefeller
and stuff, whatever, right? And I was like, it blew my mind. I'm like, oh, they still exist.
But think about it. If you're a Rockefeller in today's day and age, right?
Yeah.
And your family has been getting so much hate for the past few years. Do you really want to pop up as a Rockefeller, or do you just want to operate behind the scenes and make that bread? Remember, they care nothing about the spotlight.
I care about the bread.
Yeah.
I care about the bread and stuff, whatever, right? But I look at it stuff as where, if you're looking from like the royal side,
right?
And that's just the tailoring and stuff whatever from like the popularity.
It's the pageantry.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just I'm looking like, like for me, I'll take the bread and hide out. Because like I said, when I saw they're like, oh, Jay Electronica is dating a granddaughter of the Rockefeller, I'm like, the fuck out of here. I was like, get that bread, man.
You know what I mean?
Get that money. I was like, damn it, you know how much money they got? So, but
we glad we got one in there.
For a limited time.
For a limited time, yeah. It was short-lived.
It was short-lived. One more thing about the world leader thing. Yo, I got cussed. I got cussed the fuck out. I think first wave was at my job. Shout out to all the people and stuff that work at my organization.
Shout out.
Who do support my podcast. I do appreciate you guys. I was minding my BI. Let's say maybe before lunch.
Okay.
So I went to go use the washroom, wash my hands before I'm going to go heat up my food.
Right.
Yeah, I had somebody come up to me and stuff, whatever. They said, do you think I give a fuck about Trudeau and if I should give him the benefit of the doubt? And I was like,
ouch.
I'm sorry. And then she's like, are you? She put a finger to me.
She gave you the gun finger?
She gave me, she didn't, she just pointed.
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't know, like it's not in her culture, it's in our culture.
Right.
But it's like in their culture, the cops kind of do the pointing with the gun.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, she's like, you think I care about Trudeau? So I was like, by the tone of your voice, I take it and stuff. No. She's like, you care about Trudeau? So I'm like, there's a lot of pointing going on and stuff, whatever, right?
Someone gonna lose an eye.
Right. So I was like, yo, boo. Let's strip away the political power.
Right.
Right? If you knew somebody and stuff that was going through a separation, and she cut me off, she's like, and he looks like Trudeau? I was like, I'm going to go down the hall, eat my food.
She wasn't trying to hear it at all.
And then she made that bold statement and stuff, whatever. She's like, I'm not participating in this voting thing and stuff, whatever, for today, for your poll, for your podcast. I'll vote every other time.
Every other time.
Not this time.
She's making a stance.
I was like, you don't stand for nothing, you fall for everything.
This is political.
Yo. So I was like, maybe I just had a little too much compassion and empathy for them.
Hopefully you vote for the next prime minister since you didn't vote for our polls.
Right.
All
right.
All right.
So the next poll says, do the people of today love their neighbors? I wanted to say thy, but I don't know what kind of religious denomination some people might come from. So I wanted to be at least politically correct to some extent.
But thy, I think thy is like old English. So I think if you go with thy.
But what if you're old Asian? What if you're old Asian?
I mean,
what if you're old Chinese? What if you're old Japanese? That thy might not mean nothing to you.
But then neither would the.
Nah. No, the is present
The
today.
is present today. Okay.
So the English is spoken. But 77% said no. How do you feel about that? Do you love thy neighbor? Have you loved thy neighbor before?
I've said this before. I've been very, very fortunate throughout my life of moving into different places and different locations. I've really had good neighbors. I've really had good neighbors. So for me, it would be a yes. At the same time, I know people who have nightmarish neighbors. So it's like, I don't think they'd probably be saying the same thing I would be saying.
Baba Yagas? Like, yo, damn. For myself, I want to say through and through so far, probably about 4 bad ones.
Okay.
That I can count and recall.
Right.
Because I want to say, oh man, it was most of my neighbors and stuff has been like gems to me.
Yeah.
Right. I had a few, like I remember when I used to live off Wilson and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
I think the dopest thing and stuff, whatever, was that I was 18, 19? I don't think I was 20 yet. Maybe 18, 19. I've been living in there since I was 18.
Yeah.
Right? I was living there at 18 and stuff, whatever. But I think like before I turned 2021 or something like that, I was dating.
Okay.
I had a female guest come through,
Yeah.
and some things, things led to another, and she made some noise, and she's making a lot of fun screams.
Right.
My neighbor across the way, apparently he heard the noise,
the fun screams,
right, that she was making and stuff, whatever.
Now, did they sounded like fun screams? Because sometimes nosy neighbors might get the wrong intention.
I can tell you another part of stuff where nosy neighbors fuck some shit up, whatever. But this one was a good one.
This one was a good one.
So like my man and stuff, whatever. He was a Latino older gentleman and stuff at the time, right?
Yeah.
And it was so funny where I think a Friday or something like that, maybe after, right? I think I'm coming in. I probably took out the garbage or something like that. I'm going back to my apartment, and he sees me, and he's like, my friend. He's like, he's like, you gonna have some fun again or whatever, right? So I'm like, some fun again. So I was like, what are you talking about? So I'm nodding my head like, what are you talking about fun? He's like, I hear your lady friend last week. Boom, 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 boom. And he did the boom, boom, boom. Ah, boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh, this dude is wilding. So I was like, oh shit.
If the baby a knocking, baby a rocking, don't come a knocking.
Yo, so I was like, oh damn, my bad and stuff for that. So I'm like, I'll try to keep it down. I felt all bad and shit like that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's cool.
Yeah.
So then I went inside my apartment. He went inside and stuff, whatever. Then I heard a knocking coming at the door. So I looked through the peephole. When I looked, it was him.
Right.
So I'm looking like, oh shit. I'm like, what's up? Man has 2 Coronas. He's like, one for you and your lady friend, just tonight. I was like, yo, salute, man. I respect that, man. I respect that.
You gotta love neighbors like that. You gotta love neighbors like that.
Of course. And then there was a situation where this was the nosy neighbor aspect where it wasn't really my direct neighbor in my apartment building, but it's in the building. So at that time I was on the floor with the laundry.
Right.
My boys used to come over and everything like that. We play video games and shit.
Yeah.
This is, we'll play
the bachelor pad. Right.
And, we get aggressive when we play video games. We don't talk to people and stuff too kindly, too nicely and stuff, whatever. You might say some shit like, well, I heard, we were wild people when we were gaming and stuff with a competition. Our man said, he's like, call me paraplegic because I don't know defeat. So I'm looking like, you're out of pocket for that one. It was clever. I see where you're going with that. Then I heard another dude, like, like when they lose and everything, dude, like, I'll suck my dick and it'll get angry.
Get angry.
They get aggressive, whatever, right? So now this neighbor, she's cute.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm like, I knew she didn't live on the floor and stuff with her. So I wasn't too sure because I see her like periodically, you know, at the spot. So I went to go check my mail.
Okay.
And she was checking her mail and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
So she's already like there looking at her mail. She saw me put the key at the mailbox. And I was like, what's up? How you doing today?
Yeah.
I just said that.
Just that.
And she no shot. Just like, what's up? How you doing today? And stuff with her. She's like, she's good. And she looked and stuff with her. So I'm like, I've never seen you here before. She's like, you're that gay guy that lives on you know, at blank apartment.
Right.
Like, I'm like, what?
Okay, so now you got to really question it because she got the right apartment.
Yeah, she got the right apartment. Because she saw my keys in the mailbox.
She just got the wrong orientation.
Yeah, so I'm like, so I don't know her. I'm gonna say, like, in my head, I'm like, the fuck? But I'm like, what?
Right.
I was like, why would you say I'm gay? So she's like, yo, one time I walked past your apartment, I hear a lot of guys yelling and stuff, and I hear like, suck my dick. And I was like, these motherfuckers. I was like, yo, we play video games and get kind of intense and stuff for that. She's like, really? And then she's like, yeah, you grown ass man play video games. Yes. Next question. So I was like, the fuck? I put the brake pads on a lot of people. I'm like, look here, man. I'm gonna need you not to talk too zesty when you in this bitch. Right. Because all of the above.
Yeah,
and
the wrong impressions are being given off right now.
But
I hear it.
I had like other neighbors and stuff where they wouldn't even acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Like I would look and like, hello, or head nod and everything like that. And I don't want to use like the black card and stuff, whatever.
Right.
I just look at stuff, I was like, I said hello, you know, like, or just a wave and stuff. I'm not asking for like, come on over, let me be Jeffrey Dahmer or some shit like that, whatever. Just something like cordial greeting. I
mean, like, okay, when you were growing up, because I was by my mechanic yesterday and he was telling me about I just told him that, you know, I recently moved to Milton. He's asking how the neighbors were, and then he was telling me about some spot that he was in the city of Brampton, where there's a new development.
Okay.
And in that new development, it looks like it's mostly African Americans or African Canadians. Sorry,
okay.
Right? And then so he said when he went there, he felt like home. He felt like back in the days when you knew like majority of the people on the block and people would just go to each other's houses and just hung out and just chill and run jokes, and I'm over in this person's garage and I'm over in that person's garage. And he said, and it goes, that's how the entire vibe was the whole day. He said he just went up there to fix a friend's car. And he was just amazed. It's like he hadn't felt that type of vibe. Like back in the day, like when, you know, people used to live together in community and like community housing type of deals, right? And I was telling him, I remember first time experiencing that when I went to, again, my aunt's house in Queens, New York. Like I remember one time sitting on the pod. That was the first time that I've been on a street where I could say 95% were black, and almost everybody had a relationship. You were over this person's yard, you were over that person's yard. And then I started remembering when I was growing up, and not so much like the families would to get together on the block, but as a kid, you knew everybody's parents.
I can agree.
Right? And like your friends on the block all came to each other's. We all went to each other's houses. And like that you had that same type of vibe growing up?
Of course.
When do you think that started all just disappearing?
Kidnapping. I feel like the kidnapping aspect is stuff, right? When kidnapping, because it's kind of like, and drug use more so, because you don't know whose family might be doing what behind closed doors.
Right.
And then now I call it the Jay-Z effect. I don't only call it Jay-Z effect because Jay-Z has this aura about him like, I'm better than you.
Right.
Everything I do, I'm better than you. Oh, you're on drugs? Well, I'm better than you. I don't do drugs. So my kids ain't fucking with your kids and stuff, whatever. Because I'm better than you and everything like that. And I want to say then like the kidnapping, the rapings, the molestations and stuff like that, whatever you're looking like. Well, I don't know what you might do with my kid and stuff like that, or how much you might protect my kid.
Right.
So I got to look at you and, you know.
Yeah.
You know, are you at my level or am I better than you?
Still have
and
that
stuff,
air of
whatever.
skepticism about you. And
right. Because remember, when it comes to like kids and stuff, they just don't eat, poop, and play. So their friends might look dusty as shit and stuff, whatever, until like the adults tell them that's a dirty ass kid. But other than that, whatever, they're just playing.
Yeah.
They're just having a good time and stuff, whatever, right? It's kind of like more the adults will shape their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, I noticed the kind of the transition, but I could be wrong, the millennial.
Right.
But I look at it where that 94, 95 time, I've noticed and stuff, whatever, was kind of like the don't talk to strangers thing came up heavy.
Right.
So even if the neighbor moved in over there and they didn't look too friendly, you're not talking to these strangers.
Yeah.
You're just looking at them and stuff, whatever. You might be in their mix, but that's just about it.
That's it.
I'm like for me, I look at it as a word, the neighborly love, like love thy neighbor. Maybe I'm an asshole for saying this stuff, but I feel like if you're a Christian person, isn't that in the 10 Commandments though?
Yeah.
The love thy neighbor? So how the fuck can you be a devoted Christian if you don't even fuck with your neighbors?
I mean, but how many people are released to Christian values today?
Oh, my bad.
And then how much of, Christian values is what it used to be back then, how much of it is still represented that way today is another thing, right? So it's, I love my neighbor, but it's the neighbor who I choose to love. Type of deal. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't love you right next door to me, but the neighbor down the hall, I'm cool with.
Yeah. And then that quantifies for them as neighbor then, because it's still on the block.
Right.
Okay. That's fair. Does altruism still exist today? Like, I know we always talk about pay it forward, right? I don't really see too many pay it forward acts going on, personally.
Yeah.
Anymore compared to to be honest, I feel like for me to witness a pay it forward event, I thought about it when I thought about the topic.
Right.
It was definitely 2015, 2016.
It's funny because I was gonna say I don't think I've seen any type of acts of paying it forward since pandemic, and I'm wondering if that is one of the causes because now we're not interacting as much with other people, right? And because of the pandemic, the economics of some people have gotten so tight that they can barely take care of themselves, much less to extend. You know what I mean? It's like where before you might have had that spare change in your cup holder. You're driving and you see somebody on the street and they're asking you now when you drive and you wish you could give it to them, but that spare change is no longer sitting in the cup holder.
I'm saying people are using the spare change now.
People are using their spare change now, even if they have the spare change. Some people are not even having the spare change.
See, I was looking at it where, this what people who think that the altruistic,
right?
I don't feel like it counts as to family members and friends. For me,
no,
because I look at it stuff as it's kind of like your friends are your extended family,
right?
So you're supposed to you're not supposed to. I can't tell anybody what to do, but
you're not supposed to. But you should be compelled.
Compelled.
You should be compelled.
Bless your heart, sir. For to do things for your family,
right?
Do nice things or good things for your family. I think real altruism exists and stuff when you're doing it for a complete stranger.
For a complete stranger.
When you said the pandemic and stuff, whatever, I wanted to change my answer and stuff, whatever. I did receive.
You did? Oh,
because there was a situation where, so my hospital is, I want to say it's dead smack in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's a street, I'm not going to name it the street, but you know the street. It's a long street and stuff, whatever, from top of the major intersection down to the hospital and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I have two actual coworkers, three actual coworkers that live on this street.
Okay.
I asked them, there was a house on a corner on the stop sign before you get to the hospital, right? And I asked coworkers and stuff, I'm like, do you know the people and stuff? Because first of all, they have a little kid.
Right.
And she drew on the sidewalk and stuff, whatever, God bless healthcare workers for the pandemic time.
Okay.
It was dope. I think I put up in my story and stuff at that time, whatever,
so.
right?
I think I seen that.
So cause it was dope. I'm like, I appreciate that, right? You know, they had us hyped up. Healthcare workers are superheroes. No, the fuck we're not. We're normal people.
You guys wear the capes.
Yeah. That's a lie.
Suckers.
Yeah. And then same house now. Like the little girl did the whole chalk writing and stuff on the sidewalk now. I think either the following week, I'm pretty sure I think it's like the following week.
Okay.
There's a plastic table outside and stuff for them, like on more in their grass area.
Yeah.
And then it says healthcare workers and stuff, whatever, please take a sanitizer and sanitizer, candy, like a lollipop and something else stuff. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. We don't know these people.
No.
I asked my coworkers and stuff. They said none of those people that live in the house is a husband, a wife, and like I think 2 kids.
Right.
So everybody just kind of walked past, thank you to the hospital and stuff. Like somebody else took a photo.
Yeah.
And then the hospital ended up giving them a gift basket and stuff like that. I think, gift cards and stuff like that to show that we appreciate them the same way they appreciate us.
Yeah.
Right. So like the pay it forward aspect and stuff was still there.
Right.
So I do take it on my previous statement.
Okay.
Now, if it's not myself doing it, no, sir.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If if it's not myself doing it, like I don't see it. Like when was it? Just the other day when I was dropping my son and my son's friend home, and I pulled up at the off ramp off the highway. Someone approached me, and I had change. It's like I make it a habit. It's like the change is so small unless I'm putting it with anything, it can't do anything. You know what I mean? And it'll just sit there. So I just trying to make the habit of, if I have it and someone can use it, I'll just give it away, right? And then my
can't wait to see you.
And then you can't wait to get some change.
Oh, I'm gonna put on a mask and stuff and walk up to the cow. Like, is that the cheap?
Is that the
spend some change? I got to feed my 3 children. Sir, please, I got to make it home to my 3 children.
And then I just don't look. I just don't look at it again and just keep it moving. At the end of the day, I don't know what that person is going to do with it. And I used to care, but now I don't. It's like, do you live? I'm living.
Fair. Okay. Let's get into some things.
Sir.
Happy Emancipation Month.
Emancipation
Canada.
Month.
Boy, I got some beef with some places.
You got some beef with some places. I know.
I still see a lot of rainbow apparel and stuff, whatever, and things up. And we in August, and August, that was ending July 1st. They lied to me. Did they section off any a little bit of corner for any emancipation ideas or celebrations that you might have thought? Not this establishment. Jeez. However, City Hall, I see they are flagging the emancipation flag.
Yeah.
Going out through there.
And there's a lot of small other places that were
other places and events and stuff that is just going out through the month of August. So we do appreciate them and everything. So, proud moment and stuff. 50 years of hip hop. August 11th.
Yes.
1973. Kool Herc and his list, his playlist.
Like, damn, hip hop's 1 year older than me.
Oh shit. You are official product of hip hop.
I'm official product of hip hop.
Right, because by the time you came together with your sense and your cognizance, this is what.
Well, think about it. I was born in England, 1974.
Okay,
and when I came to Canada was 1975.
Okay,
so I was in North America, and while I was in North America, and this is the funny thing because a lot of people look at Toronto as like latecomers to the scene, right? Because it's blossomed throughout the entire U.S. from its birthplace in New York. But I always tell people, I said like, yo, from the period of like, I want to say the 80s, mid 80s, I can remember taking family trips to New York. Back then, there was already like a Caribbean connection of relatives that were crossing back and forth. So during the 80s, from the 80s, we were bringing that culture over, right? By the time it hit 89, rappers were already in Toronto from the US touring.
Right.
You understand? So it's like, no, we've been here. We grew up in it as well. It may have not been as deep seated, and it may not have been as exposed, but it was there. So I'm definitely a product of the era. It's a music that I grew up to love. It's I've done all of the 5 elements. I break dance. I've done graffiti. I've done DJing.
Okay.
I've been an MC.
Okay.
And what's the 5th element? When the 5th element comes, I'll tell you.
I was about to
4
say
to 5 though. I got the 4 to 5 in my mind though.
this is the avatar of hip hop. Like the fuck. That's like, there's 5 elements for real.
5 elements of hip hop.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm not mad at it. Whatever. I do appreciate it. I think I'm a hip hop. I consider myself a hip hop head.
Yeah.
Like through and through. Hip hop is my first musical girlfriend, and we still been together and stuff. Whatever to this day, I do look at it stuff as throughout the course of time and stuff. We've now entered to an open relationship with music.
With music.
Because hip hop has grown and expanded that much. Whatever. Where I mean, from pop music to like country music to like international music and stuff. It has hip hop elements and stuff in there.
It's wings so far.
Right. So then you're looking at stuff for like, okay, the Old Town Road. Is it hip hop? Is it country? You know what I'm saying? You get like a Katy Perry song, like a Dark Horse, whatever, like the way how his production and stuff went. And then you have Juicy J on it, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it pop? Is it hip hop? There's so many genres and stuff, whatever like that.
Man.
There's languages, I want to say, let's say, shout out to and salute to the French rappers and stuff, the rappers in France and like the European aspect and stuff. For those places where, yes, the conditions might be similar.
Right.
But they're like, yo, you gonna get these bars.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to like, maybe because it was with English was kind of like most of the things that I want to say music-wise that I've heard within the hip-hop world.
Right.
It's not that far off, I want to say, for the wordplay and the rhyme time and stuff. It has to be kind of like rhyming.
Yeah.
Right? But their thing is stuff like, you going to get these thoughts, you going to get these bars. We don't give a fuck if it rhymes. You're going to feel this pain or you're going to feel this energy and stuff. And I champion that.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard hip-hop coming out of Germany. And just watching music videos and not understanding a word what they're saying, but still feeling the emotion and still feeling, you know what I mean? It's like
you got the language going.
It's like, yes, I gotta find this.
Guten Tag, Scheiße. You know what I'm saying? It's like you bopping this stuff. You're like, oh shit! Now you gotta look up the damn word. What does Scheiße mean?
Eddie, you call my German friend Eddie. Eddie,
what does mean? Yeah,
what they say?
Right? I'd be damn if you listen to a song and be like, yo, this shit is popping and stuff. What it said? Kill all black people. Off.
Okay.
Thank you for the translation, sir. No, I'm not mad at it. Like I said, like it's grown and expanded and stuff like that. But I want to say I've always had other loves for different genres, like my parents and stuff. You know, from the old school reggaes to like the old classical soul music and stuff, right? From like we're talking about from OJs to Earth, Wind, and Fires, this what I'm getting and stuff like that. And even when my father passed, he had a little little CD set and stuff. I ran it a few times and stuff in the whip. And I'm like, man, there's some heat. There's some old school heat, whatever, right? And who's those assholes is this Shy License? Like, the boys just say you look better in the dark? Yo, that song, it hits. Shout out to the ugly people out there. That song's made for you.
That song's made for you, man. Don't feel no way.
But yeah, man. Let me ask you, when did you fall in love with hip hop? Can you give me like a time? Was it a song? What is it, a moment? Because you said you're the avatar of hip hop and everything. You have multiple elements in you and everything. So
yeah,
did you see somebody break dance and you're like, oh shit? Was it Crush Groove?
I can tell you, it was like I said, it was literally one of the first trips that the family took to go to the United States.
So what did you see? Like what?
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything, Marvin. This is what I'm telling you. Like this is what I'm telling you. Like right when I got there, because I was only about 5, 6, right?
Right.
But when I got there, I ran into my cousin Chris. God rest his soul. Right. And Chris embodied hip hop. the way the flashy clothes.
How old
the
was he
sneakers.
to you?
He
at
would
that
have
time?
probably been like maybe 16, 17 at that
Okay,
time.
okay. So he has some time on you then.
Right? So he may have been around 16, 17 at that time, right? The flashy clothes and his older brother and his cousin Christine, they were all in it. So it's like, they were like, yo, we're going to a block party. Right? So then my sisters,
Was there block parties in Canada?
there was later on,
Okay.
there was block parties, but this is like the first time I'm ever hearing like what a block party is. And you got to remember, this is like early 80s. So this is not that far apart from when hip hop is starting.
Pause that. You see? If motherfuckers fuck with their neighbors, they can have block parties. But motherfuckers don't talk to their neighbors and stuff. So block parties can't go on.
It can't go on.
Continue.
Can't go on. Actually, I won't say that.
How?
Last year, the and for where I used to live up in Brampton, Canada Day, they block the streets off. They get the permits and they block the streets off. They go into the park. They set up in the big sound system.
Okay. So that community, was a community.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
That was a community.
I've been blessed to have good neighbors, and those are one of those neighbors.
Because I think the dopest thing and stuff, whatever, is kind of like, in that community, especially that I champion that community, when you pull up, every motherfucker looking at you like, who the fuck is this? Like, I remember somebody.
It's the neighborhood watch for sure.
Because when you're there, I had the Mazda, I had the Elantra,
right?
I had the Acura, I had the other Acura and everything. One of them was like, yo, you up here in a lot of cars. I was like, in my head, I'm like, bitch, who are you watching?
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, don't watch me, watch TV. So I'm looking like, no, but they crew thick over here because the moms do like laps to work out and stuff, whatever. The moms would all talk and chitter-chatter. The kids will play. The dads would be setting up fireworks on specific days and everything. And I was like,
and then shout out to the one neighbor. Community. Shout out to the one neighbor. Like he's an electrician, and then like that's his thing. Like he literally just sets up the fireworks for the Canada Day. They block off the street, the two entrance streets for the park. The DJs in the community, he sets up his sound system, and then they just rent these big bouncy castles for all the kids to come and play.
That's dope.
And again, how often are we really seeing that though?
I can't tell you besides there. That's like,
how often are we really seeing that though?
Yeah, man. But yeah, you seeing block parties and stuff popping off in New York.
Right. So now I'm there and I'm like, I want to go. Right? But I'm like, no, you're too young. You're too young. You're too young. So from there, just built a curiosity in my mind. Like, yo, I see my cousins here. They're doing all these fancy moves. They're getting ready to go. There's something that seems.
Oh, so they were practicing for the.
No, they're getting ready. I'm telling you, they're getting dapped. They're going to the block party. They got the fresh girls on, brushing the waves. You know what I mean? The lead jeans, like hip hop. I'm saying, I'm coming from Canada. I don't know none of this. This is brand new. This is a culture shock to me.
Yeah.
So then now slowly I'm coming to like 85, 89. That's when breakdance makes the reappearance now. So now this is coming over to Canada now. So I'm like, okay, all right, we're here. And because of the connection, the cross with the tapes are coming, the mixtapes are. So we were on mixtapes like early before there were any type of real DJs doing like putting out mixtapes. Nah, we were listening to the past tapes what people were making off the radio,
right,
and then bringing it back to Canada, right? So that's what I'm saying, man. And it's like from that time. So I want to say my first time breakdancing, I was about 12.
Okay.
12. And that's like I was an avid like listener of like hip hop music, whatever I could get my hands on. And then fortunately for us, we had a radio station, like a college radio station, that would play hip hop music on every Saturday. So that was our treat. Every Saturday we'd sit down from 1 to 4, listen to the Fantastic Voyage radio program. So yeah, I want to say, man, from the age of 12, man, I felt it.
For me, I want to say, so I was born in 85, and I want to say that, let's say 89 to like 90, I'm still getting leftover hip hop from Miami and stuff at this time. And I want to say, leftover hip hop and stuff, whatever. It's like, playing on TVs and all that type of stuff. And
Right.
I can dictate TV and stuff too much because I want to say it's normally when my mom would watch or if I'm playing Nintendo.
Okay.
Right? So there was a few times and stuff where I want to say I've like had access to stuff where I didn't play video games and stuff like that.
Right.
And I would just flip through the channels and I remember like special ed I got it made. Like when I heard that and then I heard Paid in Full, because I'm the Paid in Full part, the only part I knew as a kid was like, okay.
Death with the record. Death with the record.
That's it. Because like I think as I got older, then like thinking of a master plan, that came afterwards.
Right.
But I was looking like, and then at the end, don't forget to say peace. Peace. So I was like, I will wait for that. I will wait for those two tracks and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
Then I think like, I was at 5, 6, this nigga Hammer came out the scene now, and he started doing this typewriter thing, and I'm in my living room doing the typewriter and stuff. I think I can and stuff, whatever, but I was doing with like a bed sheet because I couldn't afford no damn parachute pants. So I just put the bed sheet around me, look like a pharaoh, and doing a typewriter and stuff, whatever, right? And I was like, this is my genre.
Yeah.
Because I would hear the other things, like my mom, I think she was like a big, she was like more 90s pop type of stuff at this time in her world. Because it's like Red Wine, being around the world. And
right. Yeah,
like I remember she was spinning Lisa Stansfield a lot. I was like, fuck, Taylor Dane.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking like, she's in another genre world.
Right.
Like my mom is, Jamaican, and she came from like the reggae to the classic, from like say ska, reggae to like old school soul.
Yeah.
And then she went pop.
Yeah.
And then me, I got this hip hop kind of love, and then everything and stuff slowly start to sway, and then we start to separate.
Right.
So it was kind of like she's playing one type of music and stuff, and then I'm playing another type of music, and then she banned me for listening to hip hop on Sundays.
On Sundays, you got to ban this.
She's like, yo, Sundays for God.
Can't listen to the heathen music on Sundays.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the heathens on Sundays.
Yeah. So I was looking like, why?
Monday to Friday. Well, Monday to Saturday, you're good. That Sunday, you keep the heathens away.
Because remember, I'm in Miami.
Right.
I grew up in Uncle Luke, 2 Live Crew. We so horny.
Don't mean to cut you right there, because I was gonna ask you, right?
Yeah.
When you first started to come outside, right? In Miami, right? Who were like the main? Was it still like the 2 Live Crew, the Uncle Luke's? At that time, was still like the kings of Miami at that point.
Yeah,
right?
I want to say they ran shop and stuff in Miami, and I want to say with the Latin scene, like Miami, you had Uncle Luke and 2 Live Crew, and then for like the pop Latin scene, you had Gloria Estefan. Right? I want you to Babylon do Congo. And so you had those things, whatever, right? And that kind of consisted of the Miami element. So if you're like, I want to say the white Latino folk,
right?
You're fucking with them,
right?
And if you're fucking with like the black and like the urban kind of music and stuff, it is Uncle Luke. And that's why I always love Uncle Luke to this day, because it's so funny where Miami was that connected.
Yeah.
That all of them, if you look at it, all of them come from Luke.
Yeah.
2 Live Crew.
Yeah.
Trick Daddy's first like song that I heard him on was Scarred. That's Uncle Luke.
Right.
Trick brought Trina. Trina brought Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Rick Ross brought his Miami people and stuff for them.
Luke
come back to
Luke
Luke.
doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
I'm glad hip hop gave it to him and stuff way back when.
Yeah.
I'm like the BET Hip Hop Awards. I'm glad, because when I looked at it, I was like, they all derived because Luke paid it forward basically and stuff, whatever, right? Because when you hear like Santa Claus coming, Cap D coming, good. Trick Daddy's on that track.
Yeah.
And now Trick Daddy's now a DJ, radio DJ now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the times, man. So that time it was definitely a good time, and then the young girls my age and stuff, they got into more the Doodoo Browns and the shaking the butts, and shake what your mama gave you. So I look like, yeah, this is my genre. I'll stay over here
doing the butt.
sexy. It was dope, man. Proud moments and stuff for Emancipation Month, definitely for that. Let's talk about August 5th, a proud moment in Black History Month. The battle in Montgomery at River Dock.
The River Dock slaughter.
Hey, yo. Okay. By now, the whole world has seen all types of angles.
He had been seeing it
of this video
and
everything. How did the video make you feel? Let's say by the combinations of the angles and all that type of stuff. What was your high moments? What was your low? How did the video make you feel?
I ran through, I think, 2 emotions.
Okay.
The first was the angry emotion when at the beginning when I seen the black second in command of the boat on the dock. We now know who he is. At the beginning, everybody's like security dude. Like that's all we can possibly be. We're so racist to our own damn selves. We didn't call this man a security guard when this man is a second mate.
Guilty.
This man is a second mate.
Guilty.
But anyway, I could feel my blood boiling the way how they were treating this man who was just doing his job.
Right.
Right. But then that was just overrun and overtaken from the sense of pride. When I seen people say, nah, I don't care what happens, I'm going to put or risk my life and put myself in harm's way to help this brother.
You talking about Black Aquaman?
Black Aquaman,
okay.
The dude who ran from the top. And the dude who ran from the top and came around, he looked like he was just trying to stop everything. He didn't really he wasn't about throwing no punches. But when the cavalry came, tally ho and beat that ho.
Shit. I was a fan of stuff where, let me say this. I thought he was security. Like it's like guilty as charged. But he was just trying to bring organization and stuff from the chaos and stuff because they just parked their boat in like a wrong spot and all the above. And I'm like, of course, in my head, I was like, I got slightly angry, but I was like, yeah, white privilege is going to come in and stuff. And now they're going to try to dictate and stuff. Like they can park anywhere with their shit when there's always rules and orders and stuff. And even, not even just white privilege, but I'm going to say there's people just in general. Like I always look at stuff like my boy, one of my friends and stuff, whatever, he'll do some off the road shit on the road. I'm like, bro, you can't do that, whatever. He's like, I make my own rules, call me the mayor. I'm like, motherfuckers, the entitled motherfuckers and stuff, whatever. I always have an issue with those folks.
Yeah.
Watching this, I'm like, yeah, these people seem like they're straight entitled and they have a problem. Now, the man turned the hat to the back. So, and I'm like, oh, I was about to square up.
That's what I thought.
And then like, he kind of turned it back around and then he's like, oh, they trying to jump me?
Right.
And then the hat toss, the bat signal went up. And then all the black people saw it and then it triggered Black Aquaman to jump in the water. And I was like, he's the first person in history that I know that swam to a fight.
That's first person I know in history that's
I was like, I've never known any, because they always say black people can't swim.
That was the story. That was the story until Black Aquaman. They're not even saying man.
Aquaman?
Aquaman.
Because what caught me off guard and stuff, but I was like, in that vicinity, right? Let's say, I don't know how big this river is and everything. I've never been to Montgomery, Alabama and stuff before. So I look at it as where one would think everybody has like respectable docking space to kind of go to and stuff. You can't just go to a place just because you're tired or you need refueling and stuff. There's structure to this, right? So I'm like, these people were wrong and strong. And now, instead of like when Black Aquaman comes over, because like by that time I think when Black Aquaman came over, there's probably like now 3 black people that came additionally to come help the second mate, you said?
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, all right, everything is dead from there. But nah.
It was just the gift that kept on giving, that videotape.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm not gonna say my uncle's name, Free my, we black, we all related and shit, whatever. Free my uncle with the chair, man. Free uncle with the chair.
Free uncle's chair.
Free uncle with the chair. It was a moment. I felt like a lot of black people and stuff, whatever, like felt that.
Yeah. Because
it's kind of like enough is enough. Like, the fuck?
Right.
We get it bad enough from the police and stuff, but like regular citizens trying to like test our gangster.
And it's not, and again, it's like this man was just doing his job, right? And they were belligerent from the onset, man, because so I mean, we we've been making light of the whole hat toss, but apparently when just speaking, the captain has done some speaking since then. He's now come up and said his side of the story. Captain, who's a white male, by the way. He was basically on the phone from the get-go, like maybe a good 15, 20 minutes before his first mate even went onto the dock.
Prior to the video,
trying to get these people to move their boat, right?
Right.
So when he was describing the whole thing, he said when he seen when the hat go up, so apparently that the tossing of the hat is a distress signal. Because he said when he seen the hat go up, he knew something was wrong. And then that's when he started to
No, because see, my thing and stuff is that I don't know. I felt like some of my black community people kind of just, forgot about me. Like, and you speak for yourself, but I feel like they kind of forgot about me because I look at it where, like, when they came out with the new Happy Birthday song, I was looking like, are y'all having like secret black meetings and stuff and not telling people that we're not fucking with the Stevie song?
Yeah, I didn't know about the new one.
Right. I want to say happy birthday to you.
Yeah,
I was like, that shit hit.
Yeah, it's like,
so I was looking like, I've never heard this before. I was like, no one whispered it. I've been to other parties or birthday things. Right. We still singing Stevie.
We still singing
Happy Birthday. We still doing Stevie. So I'm looking like,
and not that it's wrong with still doing Stevie, but I think after we do the Stevie version, we should let people know that, hey, you know what? There's a new version as well that we can do.
Nope, I got an age requirement. If I go to a party, for somebody 50 plus, you getting a Stevie. 49 and younger, I want to say happy birthday to you. I don't give a damn. I'm saying it.
You will say it.
So that's why I look at him like, then when I see the hat toss and black people come out of nowhere, I was like, no one can say this.
Y'all didn't say this.
I don't wear enough hats. I need to start wearing hats now.
I
need to keep hats in the car, or like, with the trucker hats, like, how they clip it around your belt loop.
I was about to say, have like a dad hat stuff in your back pocket.
Yeah, be like, yo, we got a problem. He's like, just crack my neck. He's like, hold up, distress,
distress.
But if that's what the case is and stuff, whatever, I'm for it. The multiple charges that went out and stuff, they kind of come with the territory,
right? And they recently, actually, I think it was yesterday, charged the chair dude.
Yeah, he was charged on Friday.
Yeah.
He was charged on Friday. I want to say a good portion of them, let's say the beginning, because the Montgomery police chief, he was on, I saw it on CNN.
Right.
And he released a statement and stuff on who they caught prior to the conference and who they're issued out warrants for them to turn themselves in from the situation and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And they said, yeah, there are multiple charges and stuff out here to be laid. Now we know for a fact, just regular human nature and stuff, whatever. Even if you get into a road rage incident with somebody, and you guys both get out your car swapping on hands, you're liable to get charged for something.
Yeah.
So these are just part of the rules that we live in and stuff in this world. But if you're like, fuck the rules, I'm fighting for my people. I'm not mad at that. I mean,
listen, man, kudos, because it's like this is the one thing where people started setting up GoFundMe accounts for, and people were like, yeah, you know what, this is, I don't care if it's a scam or not. I'm making sure that these people get proper representation when it comes to court time.
Facts. So I'm like, it's a proud moment for everybody. I know Dr. Umar will be looking at us Pan-Africans as proud folks.
Yeah.
Yo, is Dr. Umar a hero or a villain? I want to say Dr. Umar, a hero or a villain?
He's that villain we need.
He's the villain.
He's that villain we need.
Speak about it.
How if I put it that way?
Talk about it.
Because he can be a bashment with the truth. And he'll stand on things where nobody else will stand on. And he don't give a shit on how it makes you feel.
That makes him a villain?
In everybody else's eyes, I'm just saying.
No, in your eyes.
No, eyes. No, I'm saying, no, to me, he'd be a hero, but I'm saying,
you're
he's
saying
a villain that's needed.
Okay. So to me, I consider Dr. Umar a hero. Not like even like, he's made monumental changes and stuff like that.
Right.
But again, the stance he takes,
Yeah.
I look at it stuff as where not even to be silenced, but let's say this: Farrakhan's words, they have a power behind them,
Yeah.
like a force to be reckoned with. Whatever.
No,
right?
he'll stir you.
Yeah, because I feel like if like we're looking at like as boxing and stuff, Farrakhan would be like, I guess, the Ali. And I don't say it like that, but I want to say like a power puncher.
Yeah. I think like he'd be more like a foreman.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ali has like a presence and stuff, whatever about him.
Right.
And I feel like with Ali, he has like a likable element and stuff to him. George, I think not everybody really dig George like
They
that.
did after Foreman Grill.
Oh, yeah, but after that. But
they did after the grill.
Remember, that was a different George.
That was a different George.
Because George back then and stuff, when Ali like Rumble in the Jungle type of shit compared to like Foreman Grill George. Foreman Grill George is Christian, found God and everything converted over, right? So I look at it where it took time for people to start loving George. After when he came back, after he retired from boxing, to come back, there's like, he's a real champ.
Yeah.
Right? Umar reminds me of like Roy Jones Jr. You know how Roy Jones used to do like the wind up shit? You're like, we know you're gonna win, but we know you're not gonna do it normal.
No.
You're gonna do the most.
You're gonna do the most.
And we're just gonna watch because we want you to do the most and we're waiting for you to do the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is and stuff, whatever to me. So, hero like that in my world. If the whole other world stuff, whatever, sees him as villain, I don't really see him as villain to them. I still kind of see him as a hero, but I look at it stuff as where it's not what you say, is how you say it.
Yeah.
That's a valuable lesson I learned in my 20s. I don't think he learned that lesson. I think like he was doing other Pan-African stuff at that time for that.
I think he learned it. I think he just doesn't want to adhere to it.
What about the Little Mermaid shit he said? The Little Mermaid was a movie about Meghan Markle? A black woman trying to find her white prince?
You know, Mark? Listen, y'all are not too different. Y'all are not too different.
Who, me and Dr. Umar?
Y'all say what comes to your mind. Y'all are not too different, Mark. Truth be told.
I'm reserved none, okay? Kind sir. I'm gonna need you to watch your tongue around this holy roller saint.
You might come and recruit you. You find out you're curing all of it. You're curing all of it.
I'm going. Yo, I want to talk to you about some real shit the other day. So
wait, before we move on. Before we move on.
Talk about it.
Do you think a person like Dr. Umar can rally the masses behind him, like how we seen like a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, even up to a Farrakhan has? Because what we're seeing right now is he is. If we're looking at black leaders right now, today, right, who still will fit that bill and are willing to fight. Farrakhan is still there. We don't think he's ever gonna go away. He's gotta die and leave that post. Even in his bed, we're still looking for him as leadership, right? Umar, I want to say is making that name for himself as that guy, right? And then I want to say the other person that I would say would kind of fit that bill or on that way up is the other young brother who's part of the Nation of the Islam. Rizza Islam.
Yeah.
Him, I would say on the come up. Do you think though, like a Rizza or a Dr. Umar would be able to galvanize like the last time we see? Like, would those guys be able to do a million man march like how we seen Farrakhan was able to do?
Well, in today's world, we don't really have like togetherness like that as people.
Right.
I want to say, to be honest, I feel like Umar might have a little bit more mass appeal.
Okay.
Compared to Rizla.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because I want to say Dr. Umar and stuff, he will go to places where he knows like they would have an effect or like a sonic boom.
Right.
And it will travel. So then therefore, let's say if he said he's not going to go on like all predominantly white platform.
Right.
He will probably go to somebody who probably works with the peoples on the predominantly white platform and stuff like that, right? Like I look at it where I always see him pop up, like I guess the Breakfast Club.
Right.
The Breakfast Club is run by, iHeartRadio.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
iHeartRadio is a big ass conglomerate.
Yeah.
Would he pop up on like a Howard Stern or somewhere like that, whatever? No. But how would Howard Stern and all those other people would know and stuff? Because he would go to somewhere like the Breakfast Club, who is kind of like attached to these places.
Got it.
So his echo would be kind of further and stuff, whatever, right? Rizla, I want to say, if you know, you know.
Okay.
If you know, you know. Because I want to say us as Black people in North America,
right,
we're kind of been programmed, or I want to say we kind of been conditioned to know for a fact that we see a Black man in a suit,
right,
he has a little authority, or his words should be, besides a wedding. If you see a Black man in a wedding and stuff, whatever, you're not taking this shit serious and stuff like that, whatever. But you see them like on a day-to-day basis and stuff like this. There's kind of like something to kind of look at, right? His words do hit. They're impactful.
Mm-hmm.
The shit he says and stuff, whatever. And I don't even look at it as shit. I want to say is like the points that he comes from. He stands by parts where I can agree with the factuals.
Yeah.
So I do like his words more than Dr. Umar's, but again, it's the mass appeal. He doesn't have the mass appeal compared to Dr. Umar.
Right.
So people now are divided. Like I said, the togetherness and stuff isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you gonna pick?
Mm.
Because even like you have people like Shaka Bars out here now, grabbing the online groups, right, and then you have 19 Keys, right, what kind of look alike, because there was the guy, I think Brother Love is Diddy, but Brother Poet, or I forget this guy's name, but I know when I see him, I think Brother Nice or something like that, Brother Polite. I'm not Brother Poet, Brother Polite. Again, these people and stuff have been here, but they don't have mass appeal. Right. For people to kind of stick to them and probably be like,
it's one of those, if you know, you know.
Right. Right. So you need the mass appeal and stuff, whatever, to kind of that aspect and stuff, right? Like, people always say like, oh, I don't want to sell out. But like, it's not about selling out. It's about getting your reach across.
Yeah. And don't mean to cut you, but that's one of the criticisms people were shouting at Ice Cube. Well, Ice Cube was saying, no, I'm going on this little podcast tour that he said he was doing to his exposing the gatekeepers. And they were saying, well, yeah, but you're going on these gatekeeper shows to do it. And Ice Cube was like, yo, anywhere there's a mass audience where I can get my message out, I'm willing to go to get my message out. I don't care.
As you should.
I don't care.
As you should.
Yeah. As
you should. Because remember, some people themselves probably won't do it because the payday might not be big enough and stuff, whatever, other stipulations and stuff, right?
Right.
It's about the word. And that's the aspect of stuff that I kind of love about when I see people like Cube doing that. Yeah. Because it has like a Jesus feel to me. Like, I don't need a fucking church to give you this word. Yeah. I don't need to take offering to give you this word. Yeah. I'm just here to give you this word. Right. And that's what it is. So like if you go to and fro, but like if you're selective, that's one thing. If you get shut down, that's another thing. Yeah. Right? But I mean, the power of social media.
You went to talk to Trump and Cuba's just, look, listen, man, I have a plan for my people. I'm willing to talk to anybody who's willing to listen to the plan for my people.
I respect that.
That's that.
I respect that. I'm not mad at that.
Before we move on, because we're preaching this whole list, these blacks coming together and seeing stuff and trying to commit change. On the other side of the world, over in Africa, where they have Niger, who just had the coup and threw over their government, and pretty much ousted everybody from France out. So their whole thing is, we're getting rid of our colonizers. And the African nations around them are I can't remember what the summit is called, but they're looking to go now do military intervention and reinstate the government inside Niger.
Okay.
Right, that was the plan. I think a few weeks ago. Right.
Okay.
But recently, there has been like some like National Assembly, right? And what they're realizing is, no, the people in Niger support the coup that's in place now. So for them to go in and do a military intervention for what the people are now supporting, it ain't gonna look good, and it's not gonna have any good results to it. So now they're trying to rethink of how they're going to do it. But right now in Niger, they're pulling the threads that because they were colonized by France. They were under up until recently, they were doing business with France. They've seen all the flags and what they have now, the French flags right now. They're pulling out the threads, right? And restitching these panels and making the Russian flag out of it. So now they're saying, okay, we're siding with Russia. There's a lot of African countries down there that are now siding with Russia. And then you hear a lot of people in North America taking a stance. Well, why are you leaving one colonizer and going to the next? And pretty much shitting on people in Africa who are thinking of changing teams, saying it's going to be bad either way. But I'm like, how do you know it's going to be bad either way? And how are you going to tell somebody who's been sitting in a shithole for so long to worry about what's on the other side might be shittier? At that point, they're willing to take their chance to see if that other side is shittier.
Of course.
But they don't have nothing to lose. They feel like they have nothing to lose. So, and I just don't understand, like, how do you not see that? Like, we live in a society where the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I think it might be a personal awareness type of thing. Because a lot of times the stuff is kind of like, if it is not happening directly in front of you or impacting you,
right,
you basically really don't give a shit. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to say, this side of the community and stuff here could not be on fire, right? Another section of the community be on fire, so I'd be like, oh shit, that area's on fire. I don't give a shit.
Right.
And then there's other people that be like, oh damn, that area's on fire. We should go and help.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like the level of awareness and stuff within the individuals and stuff. And a lot of times I think most of the time the collective, they're afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid, or like, change is not really good for them. So like you were saying, why they would kind of convince the people, like, just stay in the shit. Like, don't go over there, because over there you might not get shit on and stuff, whatever, but just stay in the shit, because change is not really for everybody. Right? Is spirituality and religion the same or different?
To me, they're different.
How? What's your definition of spirituality?
My definition of spirituality is trying to connect your inner self with the tangible and non-tangible aspects of life.
Meaning,
I know within myself, right? There's something that keeps me going. There's something that makes me alive, apart from what's in me physically, right?
Okay.
And then I use that and I examine outwards, and then I see the physical presence of the earth, and I see other animals, and I see other things, right? And I feel some sort of connectiveness to the planet and to the outside world. And I think that perspective, I think I get that vibe from what I would call my spirit.
Okay.
Right? Now, with that vibe of my spirit, it dwells on two planes, or it's one plane, but two different poles on that plane. Either it's a pole of good or it's a pole of bad. And everything else balances on those poles. Happy, sad, content, not as content.
So where does religion come in now? Because you said the same.
Religion now feels to me, it's like somebody's telling me how to feel.
Okay.
Or someone's trying to dictate my emotions.
So they're different.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different.
Okay.
To me, it's different. Because I now, this is my personal feeling. This is what I have inside me without anybody telling me anything. Right? Where religion is somebody telling me how to feel. Or what I should be feeling. And why I should be feeling.
To me, myself personally, they're different. And I want to say, let's say, in my reality, they're different.
Right.
The overall truth is that they're the same. Right? Now, somebody might probably look like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
explain that. Explain that.
For me, spirituality is more love, compassion, and I want to say surrounding.
Right.
The spatial awareness, that. Because if in your vicinity you see somebody crying, you don't know who the hell they are. Again, it kind of tie in with altruism and stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know who they are. You're just compelled to say like, oh my gosh, your spirits moved you to go talk to the person or give them a hand, a handkerchief, something.
Right.
I feel like that aspect and stuff is spiritual to me. Religion, I want to say kind of like structure, but I feel like religion is needed. Where I say like they're kind of the same is because not everybody is connected to their spiritual side of themselves.
Right.
They need religion to be guided to that spiritual self.
Okay.
Because I look at it stuff as, I was once lost, now I'm found. You were really lost. Like you knew your standpoint.
Really
especially people in today's time, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're born out of nowhere stuff. Like you're born, you get a social, you get like, your parents' name, you get a birth certificate and stuff, whatever. You're not lost.
No, you're not lost.
You're not lost. But I want to say your spiritual side is just not found.
And I was about to say that. It could be simply a case that you haven't found your spiritual side yet.
But then the religion will bring you to it.
Okay, now so
if not, some people don't need it.
Right.
But then there's others and stuff, whatever, that don't. Because think about it. We live in times right now.
Right.
Where like mental health is at all-time high, rise, drug usage, and all this type of things that was going on. I feel like if you had a little bit more structure and stuff, whatever, meaning religion, you might not turn to some of those things. You might be like, instead of me picking up, I don't know, this joint, you might want to pick up a Bible verse or two.
Right.
That might kind of give you that satisfaction. Might not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always miraculous to me how Bible paper and weed paper and stuff, whatever, is kind of like,
kind of similar.
Kind of similar. So, like they're all same, all connected. But this is where like, I used to always say stuff before, like, I'm a spiritual but not religious person.
Yeah.
Right?
I still say that.
You still to this day. You're not changing that.
I'm not changing it.
Not changing it.
So, and it's so funny because I like to break down words a lot, right? And just the etymology of everything is like,
as you should.
And I look at religion, right? Okay. What break it down? Legion. Well, what was the legion before that I'm reestablishing to?
But it's legion is LE and legion is LI.
Never worry about the spelling.
Oh, never worry about it.
It's always the phonetics.
Oh, okay.
It's always the phonetics because depending on where you go, they spell things differently.
Phonetics or phonics?
Phonics.
Phonically.
Phonics.
Oh, okay. I was like phonetics. I'm like, which fans?
Yes, which fans?
I was like, what? OnlyFans?
It's always spelled differently because even with the term term spiritual, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I think of spiritual, I think like, spirit rituals. And then I break it down. Well, spirit. I say, yeah, 300 was. Everybody else talks about 360 degrees of knowledge. What is that? That's a spirit. Okay, well, if you're practicing 360 degrees of knowledge and you start doing things in that atmosphere, what are you doing? You're doing rituals.
Oh. We became one of those podcasts now. But we just say some shit that kind of confuse people and just shut the fuck up on it and be like, you decipher.
Next.
Well, I got some shit to add too, damn it. Why they call it W when it's double V?
Actually, it was called double V first.
Oh, okay.
It was double V
who
first.
the fuck just changed it?
I don't know.
Colonizers? No,
so in back then, the actual U had the V sound, and the V sound had the actual U sound. So I don't know when they started messing them shit around.
Shorty. Oh! Shout out to Shorty.
I don't know when they started changing it, but yeah. Because that should always mess me up too. I was like, yo, that's a double V. But at one point it was called double V.
That's true. Okay. One last thing is that before we switch off. Do God and drugs go hand in hand? Yeah or nay?
I think some really good drugs can make you go see God. Yeah.
So that's a yes.
Yeah.
Because
well, you know, just think about it. Okay, in the Native American society, they use what? Peyote as their medicinal.
Peyote is a classified drug.
Right. Their medicinal. They do it in their powwows, right? And that's to bring them closer, right? Then we have the
Colombian people with the ayahuasca. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, the black people with the weed and the Bible papers.
Come on, man. God gave us these plants, brother. God gave us these plants.
Right? I at first, I looked at it and stuff, I was like, oh, Lee, I just realized and stuff, a lot of times that some people would have these moments and stuff of like, quote unquote, spiritual awakenings.
Right.
With the assistance of substances that are more natural, man-made.
Yeah.
Than any case else. I'm not too sure. I've never did stuff like cocaine and, stuff like that. But I want to say shrooms is natural.
Right.
And you can go cooking for Cocoa Puffs and you might meet a maker.
Right.
You might meet a maker or two or stuff like that, right? Same thing with some people when they say they're lifted, they're elevated, right? Yeah. You end up seeing some things and stuff for that, but I look at it as where us as people, we kind of make it look like it's a no-no for drugs, but what if a junkie, not even saying a junkie, let's say a person who's a heavy drug user of a particular type, more earthy type of drug.
Right.
You're like, oh, all you do is get stoned and everything like that. They're like, no, I'm just trying to get connected to a God.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Do we still ridicule them?
I mean, I don't think you can.
Okay.
I think it's the atmosphere and how they're going about it. 'Cause obviously, anything that you abuse, it becomes bad for you, right? And I think that's part of the problem now is that
if too much of something is bad for you, then what if people like who constantly go like full into like religions? Then isn't that too much for them?
Yeah, but some of them turn fanatics though.
There's your fanatics. Not the fanatics.
Not the phonics. There's the fanatics. Some of them turn fanatics though.
Right. Spot on.
But I mean, outside of that, it's like, okay, for instance, LSD.
Okay.
Big hallucinogen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, before it was banned, they were literally studying the benefits from the drug, right? And they were manufacturing it to say, hey, we can use it to treat this, we can use it to treat that. Something happened along the lines where it just became treated as a narcotic and a psychotic drug, right? So now there's a ban on it. But within the more with the more recent years that's gone by, you see that they're now starting to do more research in psilocybin. Is that what you call the mushroom? Is
psilocybin?
Psilocybin,
yeah.
Right? And LSD, because they're realizing, okay, you know what? Maybe we jumped the gun a little bit too early. Maybe there are compounds in these plants and stuff like that can help mankind, and we're just looking at it the whole wrong way.
Yeah, but I feel like because the manufacturing, I think once it gets to a manufacturing process and stuff, whatever, it kind of kills like I want to say the originality or the regular earthy element from it.
Right.
So it gets kind of technical. So this is where I'm looking at them like,
But
that ain't natural.
But here's the thing though.
Go ahead.
Because it starts off natural, right? But because it's natural, you can't patent it.
What do you mean?
You can't patent it as a natural method. You can't patent a tree leaf, but you can
weed.
But you got to break down the chemicals first and reassemble the chemicals, and then patent the chemicals, right?
For the weed?
For the weed.
For weeds that's being sold in dispensaries.
Yeah. That weed that's sold in dispensaries, right?
Those are patent to that company.
Exactly. And they can tell you that because they know what exactly how much percentage that is in.
No, that's a guesstimate. That's a guesstimate? That's a guesstimate because even they said like the original indicas and original sativas have left the planet.
Yes.
They have left the planet.
Yes. But as soon as that's what I mean. As soon as you make a change to it, you can now patent it. You can't patent the original form.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You can't patent the original form.
But even in that case and stuff, whatever, it's still something even that seed that came from somewhere, you can take it and grow it somewhere and stuff and still give it another name.
Yeah, you can give it
right.
another
But then
name.
when it comes to LSD and stuff, whatever, you still have to straining out of particular type of. Somebody told me they get LSD from mushrooms and something else. It's another thing and stuff. I think like I don't want to say salvia, but it's like peyote family and stuff.
Right.
Like that.
Okay.
So like the
sativa. No, that's sativa.
No. Like I think it's salvia.
It is salvia.
But I don't want to say it's salvia because it's like another family, and salvia is a part of this family.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Once you're taking it out of the plant now, you now it went from like natural to now synthetic.
Right.
Once it gets into the synthetic world, that now, like if you get to the abusive aspect of it, whatever, I think they could put extra shit to make you addictive.
Right.
They change compounds and stuff that are in there, right? But I'm saying like, you're taking ayahuasca, you're crushing it, and then you're drinking it, and then you go straight. You're taking the weed from outside and stuff, whatever, straight, smoking it, whatever, right? That are the godly people to me.
Well, I mean, the
fentanyl peoples and stuff, whatever.
The Bible, it's in the Bible where it's saying, like
burning bush,
the plant, the burning bush.
I thought that was always about weed.
Well, the plants. I can't remember what specific verse it is, but they're saying, the plants are put here to heal a nation, right? So it's like for the longest time, people were crushing herbs to cure shit.
Oh, that they did.
You still crushing herbs to this day.
I was about to say. Let's get to the question of the week. Question of the week says, do people want to be lied to?
Yeah, I still think for some people, ignorance is bliss. Whereas, if it does, I think some people are on the train that if it doesn't affect me directly,
lie to me.
I don't need to know any other way.
So what if? Okay, let me say this. I work in healthcare. Right. I want to say I have a obscure view because of working in healthcare. It's kind of more morbid.
Right.
Factual.
Right.
So my, let's say, I guess, quote unquote, my truth or my words won't be like PG or G rated.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the world I come from.
Right.
Now, some people and stuff, they know like my world exists. Like you know killers exist out here, but you might not know a killer directly or a hitman and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Bring it back to the healthcare aspect. I feel like a lot of people, they would like the Patch Adams kind of doctoring, the sugar-coated type of aspect and stuff. But the reality, because I feel like if you're telling most of these people the truth, like, yo, stop smoking or stop doing this, that, and the third, this will lead to this, and it will fuck you up in this type of way.
Yeah.
I feel like that shock factor would change a lot of people.
It should.
But if they're saying stuff like, well, if you do this, it might lead to other things. It's okay, pup. Just take it easy. Moderation.
Yeah.
That's the lie to me aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not giving them the full truth.
Right.
And I want to say, what is the term they use in courts? omission is a form of omission is
Omission.
omission is a form of perjury,
Right.
right? So people want to be lied to.
Yeah. Like I said, man, if it doesn't affect, and even when it does affect them directly, sometimes they just can't handle the truth, right?
If your woman cheated on you, would you want her to lie to you?
Nah, I'd want to know.
You want to know?
I'd want to know.
That's not how the song goes, though.
Yeah, it's not how the song
I
goes.
was about to say.
He didn't want to know at all. I'd want to know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and then I would have to decide what happens from there. I think
Take the full truth.
Yeah, I think not knowing is just like I said. Like I'm
Ignorant,
It's for damn sure.
but they're in bliss.
They're for damn sure.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it and stuff like that. I feel like people do want to be lied to, but I just look at it stuff as where we're in this state in the world. They've been lied to too many times.
Yeah.
Where they're now conscried. Hell, I was just in the liquor store. And when I was in the liquor store and stuff, and they're picking up some brew, a man was in there holding his dog like a baby.
Okay.
Because he didn't have a leash, but it's too hot outside to
So you
leave the
can't leave it
dog in the car.
Right. Yeah.
Right? One joker lady in front of me and stuff there, she's like, is that a transhuman baby? So the guy's like, what? So I look like, what? She's like, does that dog identify as a human child? Is that why you're carrying a dog like that? Right?
Ruthless.
She's like, well, she identifies as a dog then, so that means she can come in here and just piss on the floor.
Right.
So I was like, the lady brings up a valid point here, but no one at LCVO wants to answer to the
point is valid, man. Point is valid, man. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of these moments.
All right.
A lot of these moments.
So I was like, well, people want to be lied to.
Yeah, they do, man. A lot of people still can't handle the truth.
Yes, that's a heavy statement. Okay. Let's get to the Ask the Sons.
Ask the Sons.
First Ask the Sons. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First Ask the Sons comes from Sexy TT. What's been a mental health game changer for you?
Weed.
Yeah? It helps.
It helps.
It helps. I think for me, talking to myself kinder. Talking to myself more nicey.
Yeah.
I realized that I used to be like, stupid. Like if I did something wrong, be like, stupid. And be like, it happens.
Yeah.
C'est la vie, such is life. But then somebody told me that as a man, I shouldn't be saying that much. You know, people always trying to tell you how to be a man because they're saying like, you become passive to certain type of things. But I'm like, no, not everything's a battle.
No, it's not.
Not everything it deserves like a 10-year cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you spill milk and stuff, like this is not the moment where you have like this emotional breakdown. This is the time and stuff where you look and stuff is like, do you have enough milk to re-pour something else, you know, to make use of it?
Clean up.
Yeah. Okay. Next question comes from Nunya Biz 91.
So why are you asking the question then for?
I'm assuming she don't want you to know her business.
Oh, but you want to know our business. Okay. Shoot.
All right. What's the biggest green flag in a woman? Let me hear your side, married man.
The biggest green flag in a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a nice one. She does stuff without even asking, without even have to ask.
What does that mean?
Like, how do I explain this now? Like, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm working and without asking me, that is, the day might go by and without asking me if I'm hungry or not, just knowing, hey, he's been working all this time. I didn't see him eat anything. I bet you he's hungry. Let me go make him something to eat.
No, because it shows like a caring,
right? Like
thing and stuff.
She's thinking about me without me thinking about myself, or what, without even me knowing she's thinking about me.
I get that. For me, the biggest green flag in a woman is fighting, fighting or conflict resolution.
Yeah.
I find that dope in a woman. Like in specific women, not every woman has that talent.
Nope.
Motherfuckers swear they have it.
Yeah.
It's if you're a type of person is like if it's a woman who does like the silent treatment, the ghosting, the lack of communication aspect, that's not you.
Right.
Because I look at it stuff as where there's a conflict has arisen. We gotta look at like now cooler heads have to prevail and we need to come to a solution or we need to work on it. So we have to agree to disagree as
Yeah.
that right there. Ooh, that in feminine like a feminine woman.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo. My left nipple gets hard.
Uh-huh.
Cause I look at it stuff as like a lot of times I always see like I see my mom do this shit a lot when I was growing up, and I noticed that a lot of other women do it as well. But I feel like maybe because I'm used to black women,
Right.
I see it a lot within Black Caribbean women, and women in general. It's one of these moments like my mom would whoop my ass. Right? I remember one time my mom whooped my ass, and I think she beat me or slapped me for something because I got into a fight.
Right.
So I got into a fight, but she was asking and stuff, whatever. Like, you can't just go around beating up person because the dude was bloody.
Right.
Right. I felt bad afterwards. She's young. You could have probably killed him and blah blah blah. I was like, no, you can so fucking me, gang. You know what I'm saying? And I think like she slapped me. She didn't beat me, but she slapped me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was upset that she slapped me.
Right.
And I told her, and I said it to her and stuff, whatever. I was a lippy kid, still lippy as an adult now, but I was like, you tell me don't let anybody punk me around and stuff, whatever.
Right. No, I defend myself.
And it's a problem.
Right.
So I was like, what do you want? Right? I was like, and I just kind of, you know, I was an emotional ass kid and I'm emotional as adult now. So she's like, oh shit. Actually, she had a pause moment. So I was like, maybe she had an epiphany going, looking at her eyes so she could see the tears come down my damn face.
Right.
She just like kissed her teeth and walked away, whatever. I'm like, what the hell? Then come back later. You want some coconut drops? I was like, you just slapped me. Fuck you off me candy for?
You gotta soften the blow.
No, that's their way of saying sorry. They don't want to say sorry. I feel like a lot of women there's something in their Dana. Deep down inside, like for them to say sorry, especially to a man,
yeah.
Woo! Woo! Like it fucks with her. If there's like, girl, you let me your outfit, whatever, or I fucked up the dress. Girl, I really like that dress. It's okay. I got the money for it. I buy it back. You know, they don't even make that dress no more. It's all right. I'm sorry I fucked it up. It's okay.
Yeah.
To a guy?
Yeah.
Why you make me spill this on myself? If you didn't give me all those drinks earlier, I would have been more sober to watch me, you know, not spill this alcohol on my damn dress.
Yeah. What's a green flag that you admire about your mom?
No matter what, my mother has this thing and stuff where, and it's so crazy. I always, that's why the spiritual, not religious thing.
Yeah.
I always kind of looked at it stuff like, even with my mother and myself, right? My mom won't be present every Sunday for a church.
Right.
But she'll still find her time to pick up her Bible.
Right.
Right. So the illest thing and stuff for that, my mom, her thing and stuff was like, yo, the biggest green flag, my mom and stuff, whatever, is like, even when it was just two of us in the household, I'm like, yo, you cook a lot. And she's like, how you know Jesus not coming by? How you know Jesus might not send a hungry soul and stuff over and everything like that? And she's like, and even if no one came, we have leftovers.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, she's always thinking about other people beyond herself. That's the biggest green flag that my mom has.
I was actually gonna say my mom's always been a hustler. That was a green flag. But as you mentioned that, we would call my mom Mother Teresa.
Feeding and helping everybody, right?
Feed and help everybody.
Yeah. And that helped mold me to the person I am today. Yeah. Like, this shit don't fall too far. My mom took me to, I think, a soup kitchen. My first soup kitchen I probably went to was probably like 1993, 94. I was in elementary school.
Okay.
Right? And at first I was kind of annoyed because I'm looking like, what the fuck? It's the weekend. I should be able to sleep in and do, like, play video games all day.
Yeah.
And we had to go to damn, they changed that name so many times, but it's now like where Dolphins play. So
Right.
I think back then was Joe Robbie Stadium, and I can't remember exactly who Joe Robbie was,
Okay.
but Joe Robbie had a thing and stuff where like it was like a foundation that they would help feed the homeless and less fortunate.
Right.
And we got into that bandwagon and stuff like that, and then yeah, I was like, oh shit, it was joyful to see, you know, people who didn't have anything, and then when they got something and stuff, like I remember they were passing out toiletries and stuff like that, and like there was a gentleman. The man said, in any case, he was homeless.
Yeah.
He lost his toothbrush, or somebody stole his toothbrush and stuff like, because he kept his stuff somewhere. He went to go beg for change somewhere. And when he got this bag of toiletries, the man, tears start coming out his face.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a toothbrush again. I haven't brushed my teeth in like a few days.
Yeah.
And I was looking like, I don't know what that is. Like, every day,
the stuff we take for granted.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always said for granted. Then I think like when we were on one-on-one and stuff, whatever, we probably were going back home. My mom was like, you see that?
Yeah.
Did you hear what the man said? So I'm like, yeah. So she's just teaching lessons and stuff. In the meanwhile, my mom's gang.
Well, the same thing that I was talking about when I dropped the change when I was coming off the highway, right? And I gave the change. My son he said, Dad, you gave that change. I said, yeah. Sometimes you have to help.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to help.
Especially in your community.
Yeah.
This is where you live, dog.
Sometimes you have to help. You can't always be for yourself. Sometimes you got to be about others.
Facts. Not mad at that. The last Ask the Sons for the week comes from Pokemon Master 1999.
Oh,
Sorry, 99.
About to go on a world tour.
What would you do if you found out your partner / spouse was a serial killer?
First question I'm asking is how much bodies?
Would that make it better?
Well, I gotta know. I gotta know. But you know, do we gotta dig up some shit or bury some shit? We gotta say, listen. I want to know the full strength of your powers. Your powers, whatever you call it.
Prowess.
There you go. There you go.
I'm a ride or die.
You're right. I'm riding. I just need to know how many bodies you already did.
Do I want to know that?
You don't want to know? You want to ignorance is bliss? Ignorance is bliss?
How you murder, just keep that on your own. I think
cognitive distance.
Yes. Distance. Yes. I feel like when I find out,
right.
I hope she don't body me.
You know,
but then I would hope we're married. So I can't, you know.
So you can't testify against her?
I can't testify against her.
Yeah. Marry her quick.
Yeah, so I'd be like,
she'll tell you we get married tomorrow.
I was like, yo, for real? And then if we're boyfriend, girlfriend shit, we're like, yo, we got to wrap this shit up, man. We got to take this shit to City Hall.
Yeah.
If your ass get booked, I want no Paul Bernardo, Carla Homolka situation popping off.
Yeah.
Because remember, she was married to him.
Right.
Soon as she divorced him, shit went south. That's why his ass is still locked up and her ass and stuff is in, I think, Florida, Quebec. I don't know where she is.
She's one place living a whole new life.
A whole new life. Because when they were married,
they couldn't touch.
Couldn't shut her fucking mouth. That divorce came out, boy, she was singing. She was singing and testifying and stuff, whatever. So, here's my thing. My thing and stuff is that, you know, everybody might be afraid of a dragon. But you do know, like, even like the dragons or the lions or the, like, say average person won't fuck with I don't want to say dragon. Average person won't fuck with a lion.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, some of the people and stuff, let's say you've seen it where some people have been like National Geographic type people studying this lion since it was like a cub way back when, petting this motherfucker till this motherfucker looks like he's 20 times bigger than Mufasa.
Right.
And this motherfucker's still like playful as hell, like, oh my gosh, it's still you and everything. That's not like that for everybody.
No.
it's that one particular person that
Right.
they love and they spare.
Right.
Hopefully, I'm that particular person
That she
that they love, that she loves, and she spares.
Well, I mean, if she's coming clean to you, I think that might be the first
I know it's
indication.
gonna- but
That might be the first indication.
They didn't specify it coming clean. I'm analytical.
Oh, okay.
They specify it coming clean. Be like, oh, I see her in the kitchen looking like
just stumbled on
Dexter.
it.
Like, she got a body.
Cleaning her knives.
Yeah, she's cleaning her knives and shit. And she's like, hey, babe. I'm like, oh shit, we having steak? No.
I'm gonna need you to sit down for a minute.
That's like an arm and stuff hanging out somewhere. Can we talk? Mm-hmm. I want to make it alive, okay? That's the first thing.
The secret safe with me.
Survival.
Secret safe with me.
Yes. Interesting show today. Interesting questions.
It's very
Appreciate
interesting.
those questions.
Very
man.
interesting.
Especially that last one.
Let us know if you got a serial killer in your life.
Hell no, I don't want to know. You can DM him by himself. Don't even DM the podcast.
DM me, man.
Don't
DM
message
me.
the podcast for
DM me.
Go
man.
at Not
You
Your
got a
Average
next-
Joseph.
You got a Dexter in your life?
We want to know. Stop saying we. You want to know. I do not want to know.
Lie. Well, you want to know. He's curious too. We both curious.
No. I only care about if it's cascading or if it's side by side, and that's the genitalia. Like, that's just it. That's the only thing I want to know.
Murder, she wrote. For real. Shot me with that for real part. He was there when she busted the shot. For real.
Pretty facing a bad character. Let's get it. All right. So say the Suns this week. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So say the Suns this week says most people miss opportunity because it looks like work.
So says the Suns.
You don't work, you don't eat, you don't grind, you don't shine.
That's it.
And I feel like a lot of times and stuff, there you can see a lot of potential, and you don't want to fall in love with potential or just get into that aspect of the potential. You really need to put in the work, but opportunity presents itself for those who are ready to accept it.
Yeah.
Right? I just feel like a lot of times when it seems like work, they're like, fuck it. Look how many great ideas and stuff that people might shoot out and stuff like that, whatever, right? Not my quote unquote sacrilegious idea and stuff like that.
That's
But
still gonna go down.
yeah, but exactly.
Yeah.
But I just look at it stuff as where some people might have the thought, but they're like, oh, but I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. Like, look at podcasting. Podcasting stuff is another thing. Podcasting seems easy. You just need a recorder, you need a microphone, you need this, and you just have to have your conversation. How can you do this consistently? Do you think that if you only record 2 episodes, you're going to be a multimillionaire? Is your backing, is your group that great for that to pop off? If the answer is no, you need to do work for the opportunity to present itself.
Yeah.
So say the Suns.
The worst thing you can do is tell somebody else that opportunity if you're not willing to do the work. Because guess what?
Because that person might do the work.
If it's a good enough opportunity, they're not going to leave it alone.
Right? Facts. We are here at the end. We appreciate you guys rocking with us.
As
Like,
always.
comment, subscribe.
Do that.
World Battle Beatmakers contest coming up August 25th.
26th.
My bad. That's the Friday. My mama's birthday, the 25th.
Mom birthday.
My mama's birthday, the 25th. 26th. My bad.
Yeah, Havoc from Mobb Deep gonna come through and do a full set with Big Noid as his side man, helping him out. It's gonna be dope. AZ's in the house.
Tickets still available?
Let's do it. Tickets are still available. Last time I checked, the pricing was like $53 Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an odd number for some
It
Canadian
is
shit.
an odd number. They probably threw the tax in there, and so you don't.
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Round that bitch
Right,
up.
right.
Okay. Oh, so yeah. Yes, we are here.
Our American folks. Tax.
On the ticket, right? Oh, Canada. Don't blame Trudeau.
He's got enough problems.
He's tons. Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Like, comment, subscribe. All streaming platforms possible. PodicalSons.com.
We are here.
Search media. And yes, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons, because remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius
Has its limits.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.